we are in the Malverns at Kettlesings.
I don't know whether the audio will even come out in this wind, but hey ho.
We're in the Malverns in Kettlesings and it's looking pretty dry in the ground. There's the beacon and it's a bit windy.
It is pretty windy. I'm not sure if you can hear us, but yeah. We're kind of aiming for Carmarthen and hopefully, well, I don't know what we'll get up to. We'll see when we're airborne, I guess. It's very, very blue. Very blue. Okay, we are at Malvern's. Just climbing out with Ollie Claudia and his Amiga. Nice climb, just in front of takeoff. Strong climb, 4 metres a second. Maybe this will get us up. Woo!
The rest of the flight, let's just have a very quick look at why we chose the Malvern Hills to fly from on this day, Saturday 13th of August. Luckily RASP keeps historical data. As I'm actually doing this retrospectively, I probably should have recorded what I was looking at the time, but let's have a look at what RASP was saying. Now a couple of factors of what made me choose the Malverns over elsewhere. On screen now we're currently looking at thermal updraft velocity for 10 AM in the morning, and every click I do jumps ahead 1 hour. Now I'm based in the Peak District, and although it does look okay-ish in places, it doesn't look as good as the Malverns, Worcester area and down to kind of southwest Wales. So not only did we choose Malvern because the thermal updraft velocity was looking good, but also because of the wind speed and direction. So now I'm going to switch over to surface wind 2 meters at 10 o'clock again, and I'm just going to jump through to show you what was happening with the surface winds as the day went on. So you can see it starts off kind of northeasterly, and as the day goes on they go more east. Similarly with the surface wind 10 meters starting off at 10 o'clock northeast, slowly going more east and then almost a little bit south in, and then finally the boundary level wind. So boundary level wind was quite breezy that day, or breezy in places. So again starting off northeast, and as the day goes on going more east at 1 o'clock to more east southeast to southeast as the day went on, and I'd say that they were pretty bang on with the forecast that day. It did pretty much exactly what it said on the tin. So that was the reason for us choosing Malvern. We maybe could have gone to Cambridge area and had a go on the tow site out that way. I can't remember what it's called now. And in terms of choosing the goal, so Carmarthen is down here, and it is fairly close to the sea, so if there's very strong thermic activity inland you might get some sea breeze influence, but luckily on the day I didn't get to Carmarthen until later in the day, so although I thought there might be some sea breeze influence, it actually turned out to be minimal in the end. The one thing which I was hoping to make the most of was actually the convergence that they had forecasted. So if I go back to 10 o'clock in the morning, this is the boundary level max up down convergence on RASP. You can see that as the day goes on, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, we start to see some convergence lines forming further out to the west where Carmarthen is, and indeed 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Although these convergence lines aren't exactly in the direction that we want, they're not too bad coming up to Carmarthen. And then 5 o'clock they're looking quite a lot more pronounced, and I was in this sort of area around that time, and my final glide I'm trying to remember when my final glide was in this sort of area, which now kind of makes sense why I was able to do around a 22 kilometre final glide, because it was very buoyant all the way in. So I would say they were pretty accurate with the convergence forecast as well, so that was super helpful.
So I waited for the other guys, and I'm now back with Sean. I just did a 2k glide into wind to get to Sean, just so I was with him, and we're now climbing together, so hopefully he'll stay with me now. In a nice 1.5 to 2 metre climb now, just where we expected, over a field which has some tractors in, so it's nice when it works out like that. Felt the wake of Sean's glider on my pod. It's funny when you feel that. Anyway, let's see how high this takes us. We're at 2,700 feet, climbing at 2.2 metres a second. I wish we had some clouds. See just how dry England is, it's insane. So dry. Yeah, Sean's found a nice climb over, oh god, where are we? Hereford. We're just going between two ATZs. There are some nice climbs around. We're trying to stay high because it's very sticky low down, and we're just climbing through 4,000 feet again, 2.5 metres a second. Okay, we're now at Brecon Beacons in a nice climb. Sean had a bit of a bad line coming into Brecon, so just hung fire for him. But we're now climbing through 4,700. He's a little bit lower than me, but I think we'll make it out over the Brecons now. Or I hope we will. If we can get to 6,000 feet, we should be able to glide over them pretty much, I reckon. It's a fairly smooth climb, this is. Just going through 5,000 feet now. We've actually got some cumulus clouds now, at least. Not many, but we have got some. Okay, we have cleared the Brecons. I crossed over Talgarth Airfield. Had a very sinky glide when I peaked out at the top of Brecons at 6,200 feet, but I guess it kind of makes sense. All the air is descending on that side of the Brecons because we've got kind of an easterly, so kind of makes sense that you'd get significant sink there. Next up, we have Brecon town itself, which is, I think, around the halfway mark. No idea if we'll make it. I've lost all the other guys now. Sean and a few others are back at the Brecons, and yeah, just climbing through 3,400 feet almost. See how we get on. It would be lovely to have had some company. I hope we can get back later on. It would be nice if we could find a lift or get some easy hitches, but yeah, we'll see. Glider's flying lovely, and yeah, tune in again shortly. Okay, we are over the top of Brecon now, the town. Sean's about 10 kilometres behind, but he's a lot higher than me. He just reported he was about 7,000 feet, and I'm struggling to get 4,000 at the moment. So hopefully with his height advantage, he'll be able to blast it and catch up. Cumulus are so high. I would guess at least 10,000 foot cloud base. At least. There's a climb here somewhere, I just cannot find it. We've got 17 kilometres now westerly. Easterly, sorry. Oh, come on, where are you? What about more upwind? Let's have a look upwind. Looking at the sky and the clouds, we should be getting more than bloody 0.4 metres a second. 0.9. 1.6. 2 metres, that's better. 2.5. Well, Sean said he was in orbit, I can't see him. That's pretty cool. There's a shadow from a jet trail. Looks like a beam going all the way down to the ground. Very, very cool. So, the next bit of flying is not boonies, but there's not many towns or villages, or bigger towns or villages. So it should be interesting. We want to try and stay high and get to the next kind of lot. Oh, I've lost the core on this because I'm talking. There it is. Nice, 2.8, 2.9, 3. Yeah, lovely. Peaked at 3.8 then. Yeah, Sean, I'm just on the west side, just of Brecon, climbing nicely, 3 metres a second, just going through 4,300 feet.
I haven't got road maps loaded on my thing, but I think the Brecon is just north of these lakes, so I shouldn't be that far from you, really.
The lake that has the boats on, Brecon, is west of there. It's the biggest town you'll see kind of on track. There's a river going through it.
Copy that.
Nice, 4 meters a second now, 4,900 feet. It's 20 past 3 in the afternoon and we've got 60k to go, so if we can get our average up to 30k an hour, it's about 2 hours of flying. However, the direction we're going, you could probably see there's a lot of top cover. Yeah, there's a lot of top cover. Yeah, this climb's established itself way nicer now, so gained 2,000 or 3,000 feet in it already, which is lovely. Just trying to figure out where Sean is. Can't see him. Anyway, tune in again a little bit later. So we left the climb from Brecon about 6,000 feet and currently got a nicely buoyant glide. We've got 57 kilometers to go, so I'm quite hopeful, although the wind is going more south. I'm guessing that's because we're getting close to the sea, so we're getting influenced by sea breeze, but I wouldn't have thought we would. In fact, not probably at this height, so it is just going more southerly, which is not ideal. So I'm having to track south of my intended my intended track line, because each time I stop and climb it then drifts me slightly north, so we're kind of cross downwind at the moment, but only a little bit, maybe 15 degrees or so. But Carmarthen is Carmarthen is quite close to the water, so yeah, let's see how we get on. Sean's back at Brecon, he's climbing, I think, hope. Whoa. Straight lining and just going up like a rocket, so I'm kind of making most of it. Saying that, I think there's some convergency lines, definitely some convergency lines, because I've been straight lining it for a couple of glides, and 5, 6, 7k kind of like this, or going up ever so slightly. The sinkiest glide I've had so far is the one on the other side of the Brecons, but that kind of makes sense with the winds that we've got. Anyway, 5,600 feet flying, it's 3:30 and we've got 56k to go. Let's tune in again shortly. Okay, we've got 47 kilometers to go. We've got some additional cirrus top cover, which has slowed things down considerably, which is annoying because we had a much faster pace for the last 50k or so, and it's just slowed right up. I got down to 2,900 feet, which around here is fairly low. I'm just kind of in survival mode, trying to get back up into the higher stuff. This climb has been 0.8 meters per second from about 2,800 feet, and I'm now 3,500 feet. It's painfully slow, but I'm going up. Let's see how Sean's getting on. How are you getting on, dude? I'm very slowly climbing through 3,600 feet.
I'm at 1,400 and I'm trying to work this tiny thing.
Okay, sorry, I'll leave you to it. my patience paid off. This climb has finally got good. Unfortunately, Sean's just landed, but I could do with getting as high as I can before crossing this boonies type section. There's only one road that goes through it, and this pack is not light, so I do not want to be walking if I can help it for a long amount of time. I don't mind a couple of kilometres, but 10-15k with a 20-30 kilos on your back is not pleasant. But yeah, this climb has finally got good. Super happy that it has done. I've got 44 kilometres to go. Really need to get the skates on. Desperately trying to get a climb to get to the next town or village or whatever it is. There's something here and I need to milk it like I've never milked it before. It's so high, so high. I'm just trying to maximise everything. This is stunning. See if we can get to that cumulus. I think I'm just starting to see Carmarthen in sight. We're getting one glide to goal required is 1 to 18. It's too much at the moment. I need another long glide and another climb, I think, to be able to make it into goal. But it's been very, very slow. Very slow. This top cover has slowed it right down. But we're almost there. So yeah, let's see how we get on. See you in a bit. Okay, we've got 12.5 kilometres to Carmarthen. I'm at 4,200 feet. The convergence, which was forecasted on RASP, I think is working, because I would not have the sort of glides that I've been having. I think it will be one more glide to get in, unless I keep getting this sort of glide. But yeah, RASP was giving convergence around here on a line towards Carmarthen, so I think that's what I'm in. And yeah, James has just messaged me on the radio. He's done his first 100 kilometres, so that's pretty cool. Well done, James. Shame not to have more of those guys with me for the flight, but it was good flying with them for the time that we did. We've now got a glide to goal of 9.2, but I'm gonna go a little bit more pessimistic, because I know lower down there's going to be sea breeze or some sort of sea breeze effects, which means it's going to kill my glide. So I'm just going to take it easy and try and make sure I get in. And then the fun of trying to get home begins. Right, tune in again shortly. So close, yet so far away. 5.6k to go, and I know there's a southerly wind down there, sea breeze influenced, and I'm just not sure that I'm going to get it. I've gone through very, very few bits of energy which are decent enough to turn in. So glide to goal required a 7-to-1. But I know, looking at the turbines on the ground, that there's a lot of south. So I am just trying to eke out my glide as much as possible. Instrument saying altitude over goal 238 feet, but it's been varying between 238 and minus 500 feet. So this is what let's go. It's taken a bit too long, but hey, I'm happy. Now I've got to decide if my goal area is sufficient for landing. It looks like it could be damp. But I'm not 100% sure. Let's go. Trying to ascertain, so we've got power lines at that end. Let's do a 360.